6,000
very
years
well
ago or something. Yeah.
No. Way more recent than that. Polaris. I mean, it was Thuban in the times of the Egyptians, became Polaris. So that's well documented. But furthermore, we don't need to do that. We can very accurately observe Milankovitch cycles. We can see the precession of the rotational axis happens every year. It could be measured, and then there's parallax and all these other things. But that's not really what matters, because again, he's trying to do this thing where he doesn't have to where he's pretending that geocentrism doesn't assume a spherical Earth. When the argument was going on in the Renaissance, early Renaissance, about geocentrism and heliocentrism, we knew that the Earth was a sphere. So every time he does this kinematic equivalence thing, the kinematic equivalence he's trying to refer to is whether the Earth goes around the sun or if the sun goes around the Earth, not doing little donuts on a pizza land. That's not an equivalence. Those are not equal things. We're talking about one going around one or the other going around the other. Those are the two things. So geocentrism, you often try to defend a geocentric model. It assumes a spherical Earth. That is an actual model that can, to some reasonable precision, describe the motions of the celestial objects and put them where they're supposed to go and predict quantitatively where they're going to be. Flat Earth doesn't have that. You don't have any model. You don't have any way of saying this is where the planets are going to be. This is when an eclipse is going to happen. Any of these things. You absolutely cannot do any of those things. That's why I told you in the beginning, if you want to defend geocentrism, that's totally fine. We can talk about how we know that the Earth moves, which is a completely different topic from knowing whether the Earth is round or flat, because geocentrism uses a spherical Earth.
Okay, response to that, Austin.
Okay, so what's happening is I'm specifically addressing the singular point in your gish galloping. No. So, like, you want me to address everything you just said, right? Like, for one,
kinematic equivalence has nothing to do.
How about this? Just I'll throw it back to you real quick. Why is geocentrism exclusive to the Earth being a sphere?
Because it's a model that works. Flat Earth doesn't work. It doesn't explain anything we see, like the observations of the celestial sphere that you keep running away from. You cannot explain why the stars rotate one way in the north and the other way in the south. You cannot explain that.
All right, I'm going to take my time back and let me respond to everything you said, because you didn't answer. So the answer is that it's not, because with everything
you didn't answer. That's fine.
You didn't. You just started talking about star trails again. So with everything going on in the quote unquote universe, you said universe wouldn't exist. No, maybe not as you've defined it, but with everything going on, all the quote unquote planets, everything moving around, the Earth's shape doesn't matter. You just project that relative to your projection. You create a transform relative to your projection or your assumption of motion.
Observations of the night
Buddy,
sky.
I let you finish. Chill out. Okay. So
let him finish. Let him finish, Dave.
So the truth is that all observations have shown that the Earth is stationary. We have the cosmic microwave background, which showed anisotropic inhomogeneous distribution of energy, which is the exact opposite of the heliocentric prediction, and intersected on the Earth. The 23.4 degree axis was on a non-local observation. Dude, define word salad.
You're just using words. You're trying to pretend that cosmology proves the Earth is flat. Then all cosmologists would be flat earthers. Do you have any idea how insane you sound? No, it's not. You're pretending to understand cosmology. You're pretending.
What did I say that was word salad, Dave?
No, I'm saying it's word salad because it is word salad.
Yeah, I said that was word salad.
We're talking about the shape of the Earth. You're defending a flat Earth, which we figured out it isn't true in 2,500 years ago. And you're trying to talk about modern cosmology to try to talk about this when you can't even explain naked eye observations of the stars in the sky.
Okay, look, they're directly related. The idea is that the Earth is a tilted, wobbling, spinning sphere that revolves around the sun. The alternative is that the Earth is a geocentric, stationary plane. Both of those are directly related.
Sphere, that is a stationary sphere, was the alternative. Prior to heliocentrism, we thought that it was a stationary
Stop interrupting.
sphere.
Hold on.
You keep going off the rails. I got to bring you back to what we're talking about.
Hold on, guys. Okay, I'm getting some flack for allowing too much interruptions. That's on me. I know that both of you feel passionately about this, but please try to keep that to a minimum. But I do want to say, most importantly, I think it's really important and really cool that both of you took time out on a Saturday night to get online and do this and stream. And I just want to thank, I just want to give a shout out. I don't care who people back who are watching or whatever, both channels are linked in the description. Witsit gets it or Professor Dave. Ideally, you'd subscribe to both and consume both people's content and make up your own mind. I just want to before, emotions heat up too much, just, say, hey, I appreciate you both being here. I know that it's a weekend night. Can I, if you'll allow me, I'm getting called a coward for not bringing up The Edge, apparently, which is, I assume, one of the more controversial opinions and Austin, I think it's fair for you to say, hey, I showed up and I'm the one that has to answer. I'm the one that has to defend all our positions. But I also think that's a result of the fact that the spherical Earth is the commonly accepted opinion. So
Sure.
I want to be fair, and I'm not doing awesome at it, but I'm trying. So I want to say, like, if there are specific positions against the sphere or against that you want Dave to answer for, I want to give you that opportunity. But one thing that is what I found fascinating today was the idea of the ice wall or Antarctica. There's a lot of craziness around that, because what I thought, just being unbiased, trying to be unbiased, but I guess being honest, that is very hard for me to believe. Because people can literally go to Antarctica. It's like I watched a lot of Flat Earth video. I told you guys before, I watched almost 8 hours, and I was like, these bastards better show up, because I spent my whole Saturday watching Flat Earth videos. But like, I was watching like the Antarctica thing, which is a common talking point, and people go there all the time. So what is the Flat Earth position about the rim? Basically, that's what people in chat are asking. That what's going on the edges in the Flat Earth? And then Dave, I'll give you a chance. Is that okay? I'll give you a chance to respond to that. Okay.
All right. First of all, to address the first part, I'm cool with asking questions. That's the natural response, because Flat Earth is so out of left field for most people.
Yeah.
But that's more of like a normal conversation thing, not a like he's supposed to be debating me thing. But it's all good. Okay. I'm pretty chill.
I mean, I can let you guys just go at it too, if that's what you want.
No, it's cool. I'm going to answer your question. Okay. This is the typically held position. You cannot freely and privately explore past the 60th south latitude, okay, which is a ring around the outside. So to independently and freely identify and verify what all is out there is not possible. Do people go there? Yes, you can go on approved guided tours. Most of the time, it's like just a couple locations. They say it's super dangerous. I have a friend that this is anecdotal, but a former NASA employee was stationed there for 6 months. He's a flat earther. It's admittedly the highest elevation on Earth. So when people say ice wall, I mean, there are videos and pictures of what you would call an ice wall. It's the highest elevation on the Earth.
Hold on. Highest elevation on Earth in Antarctica?
Highest average elevation. So not like Mount Everest, the highest average elevation of a continent.
Okay.
So we're saying we don't know what's there. And oftentimes people get this straw man. It's like flat earthers say you can't go to Antarctica. People go there all the time. No, we're saying you can't freely and privately explore it, right? Like if I let you in my house, but you couldn't go upstairs, you couldn't tell me what was upstairs, right?
It's a sex dungeon. I would know.
So are you going to go with Will Duffy to the South Pole? He's paying for you.
I told him when he first emailed me, before I even knew who he was, that I was open to going. I had specific parameters, which is that they can't take my words out of context and make a hit piece like they always do, that they have to be forthcoming about all the funding and all the stuff like that. And I said I would go. I have no reason not to go.
Hold on, Dave. Can you explain the Will? Because I know about the Will Duffy thing, but most people watching.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was getting these emails and not even knowing who he was, so I didn't reply. But this guy Will Duffy has been emailing flat earthers and people who make flat Earth debunking content about paying to bring some people to the South Pole to observe the 24-hour sun.
He's like some eccentric billionaire guy, right?
I don't really know anything about him, and I don't know how much money he has. I don't think he's a billionaire. I think he has enough money to pay for a couple people to go.
Because I will go. I'll do the South Pole tour.
I wouldn't. I have things to do, but I would love for some flat earthers to go and see the 24-hour sun. And most flat earthers are already making excuses. Weiss is saying he doesn't want to go because he's evil, Satan or something. I don't know what he's talking about.
Austin said he would go.
Okay, that's great.
And Dave's position was that he doesn't respect people that are dishonest and hide behind anonymity and stuff like that. So whatever, I said I would go because, dude, I'm not scared of anything. I'm a flat earther.
Did he contact you?
Yeah. He sent like a mass email, and when I saw it, I responded. I said, dude, look, I'll go. It has to be transparent and honest. People have stolen money. They claim on their videos they're going to fly us, and then we contact them. They're like, I'm not going to actually fly you. That's just for my YouTube video. But he still has a GoFundMe up to make flat earthers look bad. So I said, if it's honest, I'll go. I'm not scared of the truth, dude. I'm a flat earther because you can go see mountains from hundreds of miles away consistently. It doesn't add up. The math doesn't add up. So anyway, and
Can I bring it back?
I don't know how that's going to manifest, but as of now, it looks like it could be me and Jaron going with, I guess, Dave McKeegan or something. But
well, I give you.
And when we don't see the 24-hour sun,
what are you going to have to see? So if you go, all right, right here and right now, you go, you see 24-hour sun, you come back, you make a video, because look, I saw this in Dave's video. I feel like I've saw you, and I have also. Everyone's been wrong. It's not like a big deal. I'm not saying you are, but I'm saying, what will it take? Like, if you go down there and you see 24-hour sunlight, you'll come back and say, all right, cool. I'm cool. It's global. I'm a global guy now. What would it take if you went to the South Pole for you to change your mind?
If I saw a 24-hour sun that does a 360 around me, like the Go predicts, I would readily admit, like, that does.
What's a 360 around me look like? Like
the sun should just do a full circle around you and never set, just like it does in the north in the midnight sun. It should do the same thing in the south.
What does it look like in Alaska when it's light for 24 hours there?
It literally does. If you're far enough north, you can just see the sun do a full circle around you, which is what the flat Earth predicts as well. What's up,
Dave? Do you have any issue with that? I don't know. I've never been there.
No, great. I can't wait. I really hope they go, and then when they come back, that's the end of flat Earth, because that will be it. And
well, let me finish what I was saying.
Okay.
Yes, it would match the globe. I would step back and be like, whoa, I don't expect it to. So I would admit, yeah, that's weird. That matches the globe. That's not expected on the flat Earth from my understanding, blah, blah, blah. I'd openly admit it.
Isn't that what you just did to me about the photograph? Or I was thinking of another explanation?
What? No. I didn't even say that yet, but maybe. But a more definitive test actually is to charter a plane, fly far enough south, have multiple mechanical gyros spinning up that maintain rigidity in space. They should tip over as you go, and then it should flip over. So it should tip and flip based on the curvature of the Earth. If, say, that test and the 24-hour sun was actually manifested, which I don't have high hopes for, if I found out for sure the Earth's a globe, I would be the first one to come out and admit I was wrong. Because that doesn't prove one thing doesn't prove is that we're flying through space. It doesn't prove any of this other nonsense.
Okay, well, let me ask this. So, I feel like Austin's been on a bit of the hot seat. So let me pose a question to Dave. I watched a bunch of your videos today. I actually really appreciate. I can definitely tell you're a teacher because all of your PowerPoint slides gave me PTSD back to my college days.
I'm good with slides.
Yeah. I actually, when I was getting my master's degree, I still had a professor that used overhead projectors that he had written in the 70s.
Old school. Yeah.
Yeah. But I've heard the terminology around flat Earth several times in your videos about grifting, right?
Mm-hmm.
What is the grift? What is the grift in saying that there's a flat Earth? Can you kind of describe that? Because I don't see a lot of these flat Earth guys being giving me money. So what is it?
It's just a little cult, and there's super chats, and they do the conferences and all these things. That's all it is.
So there's
it's not like a huge grift. It's not like Scientology or something, but
okay, we all agree Scientology is a huge grift, right?
I hope we all agree that.
Yeah, dude, flat Earth doesn't make you money, bro. I get demonetized all the time. I'm deprioritized. And I had to lose a 6-figure job offer because I had flat Earth videos online. Okay, if you were gonna grift, why would you pick the thing that doesn't make money?
Because you're it doesn't make a better grift. If you could do I've been debunking Billy Carson and some of these guys on the Rogan thing. That guy actually makes money lying about archaeology and ancient aliens and stuff like that. That would be a smarter grift.
What? Okay, anyway, but this is the problem. People are going to get so triggered that Dave's not being forced to actually address his improper claims.
Okay, well, what is it?
I'm just going to be real.
No, he's right here. He's right. Okay, hold on, Dave. All right. What is it? Articulate the question that Dave has not answered, and then Dave, the floor is
all ears.
Okay, yeah. So like I explained earlier, when we looked at the cosmic microwave background, it actually showed that there was, he called this word salad, anisotropic.
Wait, what is it? I just want to, we're not all, so what did you say? The what microwave?
It's called the cosmic microwave background, CMB, which is just, you send something up high in the air and you read the electromagnetic radiation. There's the visible spectrum of light, then there's the non-visible spectrum. It's pulling in all the data from the light that you can't see with your eyes.
If you've ever researched flat Earth, you know this image, right? Dave's seen the
Probably,
same.
yeah. Most
it has
people certainly.
nothing to do with flat Earth. I mean, this is cosmology.
Oh, hold on.
It's-
But hold on, Dave. Hold on. Just let him. Yeah. Just let him.
It's about It's
Go
about
ahead.
is the Earth moving or not? So in the current model that the Earth is flying around the sun, the universe, whatever, all the energy should be evenly distributed. That's called homogeneous, and it should be isotropic, meaning it has no preferred direction. Okay, but what they saw was that it was inhomogeneous and anisotropic, and actually the part that had a preferred direction intersected on the Earth. And they ended up calling it the axis of evil. And then what they saw was that this anisotropic inhomogeneous distribution of energy was actually on a 23.4 degree tilt, which was supposedly the Earth's tilt, but it was observed way beyond our quote unquote galaxy, which means it could not have been the Earth tilted. So it's a major problem. The CMB matched the geocentric model.
Okay, Austin. So you're talking. Okay, so this image, right? The CMB model, right? You're saying. How does this one thing I'm a layman, so I feel like I'm speaking for just regular people who are watching. What about this should Dave talk about when it comes to the sphere heads? You know, so when you talk about the microwave whatever, how does this relate to flat Earth is what my question is.
This is just about if the Earth is geocentric or not. If the universe is geocentric.
Okay,
so
that's a different conversation then, right? Because
it's not though.
The planet
could
be yes, it is, because the planet could be a sphere but still be geocentric.
It could be, yes, that's right.
Okay, so it is different.
The point is that the mainstream model we were all inundated with was that the Earth is a spinning globe. So the alternative is that the Earth is a stationary plane. And what always happens is the people that believe in the spinning globe, they want to avoid the burden of proof for both of those things, curvature and motion. And if they think they can say what's an eclipse, then somehow they don't have to explain all the evidence that shows the Earth's not a spinning globe. And that is illogical.
Austin, how do you explain eclipses? You brought it up. I didn't bring it up. So
I don't know.
This one up first. I mean, let's not jump topics here.
Okay, I'll shut up. You're right, Dave. Thanks for keeping me in line.
Yeah. You can go whatever we want after this, but no, this is what Austin relies on. This is why he's so incapable of doing.
But what does it supposedly prove? I'm sorry. So what does
that the Earth's in the center of the universe?
Got it. Okay, Dave, respond.
Okay, so no, it absolutely doesn't. Otherwise, cosmologists would all agree that Earth was at the center of the universe. Right? This is all freely available information that you're finding on Wikipedia. If this demonstrated what you're saying it does, that would be the consensus among people who study this for a living. It is not, and that doesn't do what you're saying. You're just saying it does. This is what you do, right? You need to talk about esoteric aspects of modern physics because your viewers don't understand what you're talking about and they just believe you, instead of talking about very simple things like, which I want to keep bringing you back to. Why is it that people looking in different directions can all see the Southern Cross at the same time? Very simple, intuitive things. These are what we should be discussing.
Sure. Okay. So hand wave dismissal, appeal to consensus, and appeal to authority.
You're just lying about what it says. You're just lying about what it says.
You said if it said what I said, all the experts would agree. The consensus is that there is no the consensus is that there's
homogeneous. The CMB is homogeneous. This is common knowledge.
The consensus is that there's no legitimate explanation that's agreed upon for it. And it was originally rejected and then redone and showed the same unexpected results and then done again and shown the same unexpected results. That's the actual truth. There isn't a legitimate consensus answer from your paradigm. Doesn't matter. When you want to keep talking about the stars, you said look different directions. Just like when Dave Weiss was talking to you, he tried to tell you magnetic declination's a thing, and you called that jargon and said that wasn't a real thing. You're just making up words.
I didn't say he made it up. I just said he's saying magnetism for no reason because it's nothing to do with what I was talking about. How is magnetic declination going to allow you to see the same thing by looking in different directions? Explain. You go ahead. Go ahead and
you have to do
what Weiss said.
We're going to see that you didn't follow him then either. And that is that you're talking about directions. You're invoking cardinal directions. Mm-hmm. How do you determine your directions? So if you're going to use a compass, according to your paradigm, when you get to the south, the magnetic declination gets way worse.
Why do I need a compass? Can I use geographical phenomena? Can I point in a particular geographical direction by known landmarks? Don't we know on a map?
How do you know the exact? First of all, when you're looking at the stars all the way to the Southern Cross, what known landmarks are you going to use?
Anything on the tips of those continents. What are you talking about? You're standing at the tip of a southern continent. Look, I'll give you, let's say you're off by a degree or two. Okay, fine. We're looking a little bit this way, a little bit that way. On the graphic that I showed you, they're looking in completely different directions, all seeing the Southern Cross at the same time. It doesn't make sense. You can't.
First of all, it's not a degree or two, Dave. It is dozens and dozens of degrees. If you go far enough south, it is actually 179 degrees at one point. Meaning,
how far south? Very near the magnetic pole.
Yeah, in your paradigm, which your magnetic pole's in the ocean. But the point is dude, if you're going to say I'm looking south for sure, you're relying on magnetic declination corrections. Okay, but that's the point Dave was making. You hand wave dismissed it, and it's just a fact.
I can go outside of my house and look north without looking at a compass because I know which way north is on a map. Do you use a compass every day to orient yourself, or do you just know which way the cardinal directions are?
Yeah, but in the north we have Polaris to go off of, right?
No,
we have like
on a map, on a street, walking around the street. You've got a grid of streets. You know which way is north. Do you need a compass to do that?
Well, actually, if you use the compass, it will show you different directions over time. I'm asking you, how do you verify south?
Use geography.
Dude, how did you verify the exact cardinal direction of different geographical input? Okay, but let's just anyway. You don't understand that point apparently, but it doesn't matter.
Or you're just desperately pivoting.
No, dude. You said that it wasn't a real thing, and now you think it wasn't a real thing.
I said you're just bringing up magnetism for no reason because you think that's going to save you. It's almost verbatim what I said.
How else? You're saying the only other way to verify it is to look at geography.
Dude,
okay,
you're pretending that if I'm looking at what I know is south on a map, that I could somehow be pointing basically north or near north. Is that really how much of it's just distortion you think is physically possible when you're just using a map to look south?
You don't just use, okay, I'm trying to explain to you that in your paradigm, in the south, the magnetic declination gets crazy. In theory, could that be true? Sure.
Where does it get crazy? How close to the magnetic pole do you have to get in order for it to get crazy? How close?
Wherever you're viewing the Southern Cross from is far enough south that the magnetic declination is a significant factor.
Is it though? Because it's not really that close to the magnetic pole.
No, but it can still be 40, 50 degrees magnetic declination in your paradigm.
No, it
yes,
couldn't.
You can go to magnetic-declination.com and look it up. The other thing is there's something called an azimuthal grid. So we actually see the world in a little azimuth grid. That's how we measure it, right? That's how we measure the stars. We take our zenith, and then we take elevation measurements down to our azimuth. So it gives you a little dome. Now, when you actually run this through a software, you will see that if you had a bunch of stars circling over top of you and you had this little limit of vision that was a dome, you'll actually see the stars appear to converge at a point where they're actually not converging and circle around that point. We have replicated it, so we actually expect it. The problem is we need to verify the exact cardinal direction to even put that input into the software to know for sure, to give you a flat Earth model you all beg for, and it is impossible to 100% verify the cardinal directions that far south. So
hold on. All right. Okay.
You have no such model. You have no such thing, or you would have shown it. You would have all been celebrating it in all your videos. You can't.
We've shown it. We have shown it.
Well, bring it up. I'm going to let you bring it up, Austin. I want to say this. Go ahead and take a minute. Bring it up. I want to be respectful of everyone's time, so I wanted to keep this to, maybe 30. Are you guys okay with 30 more minutes? Is that okay? Or
yeah,
20, 30.
20, yeah.
Okay. So are you guys okay with? I want to just pull the pin on a grenade, chuck it in, and back out, and let you guys go at it because I'm getting yelled at for interrupting too much. But also, would you guys be okay with the last 10 minutes of the show? We looked at some viewer questions. Is that okay? So can we do 20? Are you guys okay with 25 more minutes or no?
Yeah,
I am. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But I just wait.
Hold on. You good with 25 more minutes?
Yeah.
Austin, Dave. Okay. So I want to let everyone know. Hey, again, I'm getting a lot of shit for being, maybe interrupting too much, but I just want to let people, I try to pick my spots, but what matters most is that these two gentlemen spent Saturday evening with me, 3 dudes on a date on Saturday night. We obviously could have been out there slaying puss like incredible chads like we are, but make sure you check out their channels in the description below. Witsit Gets It has obviously a wide variety of content available, as well as Professor Dave. Please support their channels, and please, independently, if they have Patreons or whatever, support them directly. Obviously everyone's pissed that I haven't brought up the ice wall, the edge, or the dome. That's the last thing I want to end on. But I did want to ask you about this video. I'm a big SpaceX guy. I'm a big, I'm a big space guy. We're on SpaceX
I'm sorry,
right now.
bro.
Starlink. I know. Sorry. I know. I'm sorry. Yeah.
It's a lot of it's fake, brother. Sorry.
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what people say. So when we watch this, I won't watch it, but right. So this was the space jump, right? We can obviously see the Earth is digitally or not curved, right? This guy, jumps out. This is when I think flat Earth, I've actually, because I watched this video like in real time because I'm a space dork. Keep that in mind when we discuss, not that my opinion matters, it's really the viewers' opinions that matter. And then I'll ask them in 5 minutes. So I want to bring up the conversation. Actually, you know what? Is there something that either one of you, Dave or Austin, that you really want to, like, I fucked up and I didn't talk about it? Because you've already given a bunch of your time. Should we not talk about the ice wall and the edge or the dome?
Well, I think I already addressed that. We can't freely probably explore there. It's highest elevation in the world. Some people think that's what it could
you
be.
talk about. Yeah,
you can all go to.
Well, you can't fall off the edge of a lake or a pond. We don't know what's beyond it. Could there be more land? Sure. Could there be something containing it that touches down? Sure. We literally can't freely and privately explore it, so we don't know. It's kind of like saying, do you fall off the edge of a lake though? Like, no, Antarctica would serve as the shore.
Make sure you go to the South Pole with Will. Make sure you get over there.
I'm in. So
can we address the Felix thing though, since you brought it up?
Go ahead.
Okay, so
he's talking about the diver, right? The Felix.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it looks like the Earth is a ball, obviously, an extremely small ball.
He's in lower Earth orbit here. He's not.
No, he's not. He's 180,000 feet up, so that's actually very low. And this was sponsored. This was sponsored by GoPro. So this is a GoPro fisheye lens. If you look at the video, the angle from inside the cockpit or whatever you want to call it, you can actually see the horizon's flat. So Neil deGrasse Tyson himself came out and addressed this idea that like people think that Felix was so high that he could see the curvature of the Earth.
That's from the cockpit. That doesn't look flat.
No, that's not. That's from outside, still using the GoPro.
Well, that's exaggerated. We can admit that is exaggerated curvature.
Yeah.
The curvature is still there.
Yeah, it's on a squish.
Well, you say that, okay, but according to even Neil deGrasse Tyson, you would never see the curvature of the Earth from that height because you'd only be 2 millimeters above a typical blown up beach ball or whatever. But
what about that?
The point that's important here is I've heard Dave say, and I don't watch Dave, so I'll be honest with you, bro, but like I listened to a few minutes of it earlier. I heard you say something.
You should watch your debunkers, dude. That's time well spent.
No, I've watched some of his older stuff. Okay. It's all the same stuff, bro. But anyway, so this is the problem.
That's obliterating your position.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, with all straw men. But look, this is what I want to point out. Dave said that this guy was in his balloon and it maintained the momentum due to the conservation of momentum with the spin of the Earth. So when he fell out, he maintained that momentum.
Yeah.
Felix Baumgartner landed like dozens of miles in the opposite direction.
Well, he accelerated though. When you watch this, he did not maintain his position, right?
But if you're spinning underneath him, why would he fall in the opposite direction?
The opposite direction. What's going on while he's falling? Is there no interaction with the atmosphere? Is there absolutely no change in what's going on?
Well, there's not much atmos up that high. You could say once he got down, he started drifting, if that's what you want to claim. I mean, I actually looked at the weather data. It seemed like there wasn't much wind. I'm pointing out that your claim that he was just following the Earth is patently false. He fell like 40 miles in the wrong direction.
Okay, well, on a
that isn't curvature of Earth.
Straight up and straight down, so it actually obliterates your position. I don't know what you're gloating about here.
What?
I didn't know this
was
a
flat Earth. It's going straight up and straight down. Why would there be any discrepancy in where he lands if it was a flat Earth?
Okay, it wouldn't obliterate my position. We can both agree now it has something to do with wind, and your claim that he was just falling with the Earth is ridiculous and stupid and
like satellites,
not true.
Ridiculous and stupid. That's obscene. But I think much more importantly, what you absolutely can't explain is why that guy fell down.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
the gravity conversation.
Gravity. Let's do electric gravity. Let's talk about it. Let's
because he has weights when he's more dense in the air and he went down.
What is weight?
It is mass times gravity. Mass is volume times density times downward acceleration. Gravity is little g, which is just downward acceleration, 9.8 meters per second squared, which you falsely claimed that we can't derive, but you can do that with a kinematic equation, strictly a kinematic equation.
Get me 9.81 meters per second squared without using the mass of the Earth.
literally you can do it with a kinematic equation. It's also been done with
see it. Where is it?
Yeah, initial height, velocity, and time will give you the same exact 9.8 meters per second value. That's just the effect. Did you know that 9.8 meters per second scare is just the effect? It isn't even like the claimed cause.
What do you mean the claimed cause? It's a value. It's an acceleration due to the mass of the Earth. That's why G changes with radius, with elevation on different celestial bodies. That's why G is different on the moon. It's different on Mars. You think that's all fake, of course, but yeah. So, very, very simply, you cannot explain why things fall down. You just can't do it.
I can.
No,
yeah.
you can't.
Everything. It's more dense than the air, and so the question would be, why is there up?
Why does it go down?
Why is it down? That's your question.
It is less dense too. The air above it is less dense. Should fall up.
Why is it? What?
The air above an
you're
object.
more dense than the air. It doesn't matter if the air above you is less dense than the air below.
Why does it go down? This air is less dense. In fact, this air is even less dense than this air. Why does it go up?
Okay, why would that mean it goes down?
What do you mean why that mean? Because the mass of the Earth. The mass of the Earth is the things fall. The reason that things fall down.
Dude. Helium. Why does helium rise?
Because it's less dense than air.
There you go. It's less dense than the other air.
Gravity pulls the air down more than the helium.
That's
the
what
same
you
reason
think.
a beach ball goes up in the air, in the water.
You're just reifying your belief, and this is what's even funnier.
Reify.
How is it
reification? I'm not doing anything abstract and turning it.
Yeah, because you have a concept. You have a concept of gravity in your mind, and you are attributing concreteness to it, and just assuming it's true by treating the concept as if it's actual.
Because I know that it's exclusively an effect based on mass and not electromagnetism, as you pretend. You absolutely cannot use electromagnetism to explain anything that gravity explains. You can't.
I've never said electromagnetism. There's a downward electric current on the Earth. This is actually another falsification of the globe. We have a uniform.
Magnetism are not part of the same thing. What do you mean, not electromagnetism?
We have a vertical electric field on the Earth, and it has 100 volt per meter increase. It's equipotential increase. It's a vertical electric field. It's a vertical electric field, and it's uniform. And so we have 100 volts per meter. Now that's impossible. That's impossible. Yeah,
it's not.
Does it increase 100 volts per meter?
No, it dissipates with elevation, which is why Felix can't be falling down due to electromagnetism.
Does it increase 100 volts per meter?
For like 100 meters. And then there's dissipation.
No, your model claims it's up to like 50 miles.
Okay, look, even if whatever
you're so wrong about everything.
Why doesn't anything fall up? Austin, why doesn't anything fall up? Electromagnetism is both attractive and repulsive, right? So some things are attracted to the Earth. Why isn't anything repelled from the Earth? Why doesn't it fall up to the other Gaussian surface or whatever you want to talk about? Why doesn't it fall up?
So first of all, radial distribution of a sphere would not allow you to have equipotential parallel surfaces that are 100 volts per meter.
Why does it?
No, I'm finishing my point. Then I'm just letting the audience hear the conclusion of the point.
Let him answer.
So that's the conclusion of the point that Dave previously avoided, which is that radial distribution of a sphere could not replicate what we have on the Earth. But you said, why don't things go up? You mentioned my middle school experiment or whatever you called it, right? Where I actually made something lift, and I did it with iron filings. I did it with multiple different materials, even insulators. So you said that doesn't count, and I can't make big objects.
Yeah,
I can't make big objects. Okay.
Hey,
did you know that physics scales?
The bigger an object is, the more charged particles there are in it, right? So the effect should be greater. Why can't you do it with a rock or a person? Why don't we see anything fall up ever?
Because you would have to increase the amount of, say, electrostatics you introduce proportionate to its weight, which is, again, mass, which is volume times density relative to the pressure mediation of the atmos. Wait. My question is,
yum.
Dude, what did I say that was word salad?
All of it. You're just saying words.
All of it.
I'm asking you why things don't fall up. In a field, particles of opposite charges are accelerated in opposite directions, right? So why can't you make anything fall up? Why doesn't anything on the Earth fall up? It's a very simple question.
I'm trying to explain it.
A lot of people fail up. I'm just saying.
Fail up.
Yeah. I'm trying to make it. It's really a simple concept. So when you have something that has weight, that's volume times density, okay? That's mass. And then volume times density times acceleration. Little g is just downward acceleration, just an effect. So whenever that's the case, that pressure mediates.
Acceleration due to gravity.
That's what you guys believe. That's what he thinks, okay? Little g is just the effect. It isn't exclusive to any belief. Okay. Well, everyone keeps invoking little g as if it's proof of, I guess, the bending and warping of space and time or whatever.
We don't even have to go with electricity, or I mean,
know you
relativity.
can't go that route. Trust me, we know.
Well, no,
we
you
know.
can. Relativity is one of the most corroborated theories in the history of science, but it doesn't matter.
No, it's not.
You can just use Newton. Well, it is.
It was falsified in 1933. Fritz Zwicky was off by 99%.
Definitely was never
Let me
falsified.
ask this question, dude. It's a simple question. You said that my experiment doesn't do anything. In reality, what I did was manipulate the electric field, and then it caused the objects to go up, even though that they were heavier than the air.
What you did was apply an enormous electric field to overwhelm the effects of gravity. You took a different force, electromagnetism, to overwhelm gravity for a teeny tiny little object,
Right.
Once again, what I just said, a very massive object, a lot of matter, has more charged particles. In my body, there are many, many more charged particles than a tiny piece of styrofoam.
What about
the effect be greater? Can't we accelerate up? Can't we levitate? Can't we fly? Why not?
I just have a simple question. You won't let me get it out because you know you won't.
I just answered it.
Ask the question then. Ask the question.
Okay, I've tried like 3 times. It's simple. You're saying that doesn't count because I can't do it with bigger objects.
Yeah.
Do you know that physics scales?
Yeah, so a larger object, more charged particles, the effect should be greater. Why doesn't anything?
So you agree though that if I do the same principle on a bigger scale, if I increase the force proportionate to the object, I would be able to make things go up. And your claim that you can't do it with bigger objects is completely ridiculous, non sequitur.
Countering gravity. You would be countering gravity. I'm talking
reifying gravity again.
Stop saying reification. Do you have any idea how dumb you sound when you say
Hold
reification?
Hey, come on.
Okay.
You're just begging the question over and over, dude. You're just saying, I promise.
Hold on, fellas. We're bringing it home.
You can only do this with a Van der Graaf generator because you are applying an external field to overwhelm gravity. You're saying that out there in the world, it's all electrostatic. So we shouldn't need a Van der Graaf generator. Out there in the world, where this is an electromagnetic effect, and we know that electromagnetism is both attractive and repulsive. Out there in the world, why doesn't anything fall up ever?
Okay. First of all, depending on the environment, say like your hair will stick up during thunderstorms. Bumblebees literally do something called non-contact pollen detachment. They fly over top of the flowers and the pollen levitates. Literally, there is naturally occurring phenomena that's based on the electric field of the earth. You're saying we're adding an external force? No, we're manipulating the force that's already. Let me finish. We're manipulating the force that's already there. I didn't add anything. Everything that exists is electrostatic. Right, which is on the smallest scale is 10 to 36 power stronger than your belief in gravity. And all molecular and intermolecular attractive forces are electrostatic. That means all objects that exist are held together by that. So you're acting like I'm adding something that wasn't there. No, I'm just manipulating what was there. Now you do the same thing with your belief in gravity. Isolate gravity and prove it's true.
Yeah, things only fall down. That's it. Well, I'm asking you why things don't fall up. All you're doing is citing, a bumblebee does something. These are all teeny tiny objects where electrostatics can overwhelm the effect of gravity. Why doesn't a rock fall up, or a person, or a car, or anything ever?
Let me ask this.
Because the pressure mediated by the density relationship and the weight makes it go down. It's pretty simple.
Okay. I feel like you both.
Those sure were words.
Okay, so.
Dude, that's a pretty bad look.
Well, hold on.
It is a bad look for you.
All right, hold on, gentlemen. What I want to say is that you both have been extremely well behaved and entertaining, and I want to let the viewers, of which there are many thousands, get in for a few minutes. But do I dare bring up Cavendish? Do I dare bring up, because that is a point of contention, right? Of that matter attracts matter, right? That disproves gravity, right? Like I'm a very large fat man, very attractive young, but not young. Why did I say young? That's creepy. Very attractive thin women are often attracted to me. But let's actually not go down that. Let's not go down that road. It's probably too complicated. I want to let people.
Yeah, because everything's electrostatic. It's way stronger than gravity's claimed to be.
Yeah, but they shield for electrostatics.
If you have a lot of questions like that, it's like, we can have a conversation in the future, man, whether it's streamed or not.
It's maybe down the rabbit hole too far.
I just want to, this is the only thing that I really want to know, Dave, before we move on, bro. Like,
all right, go ahead.
You said you didn't think the numbers were correct, whatever, you dismissed it. Then you said maybe there's some type of atmospheric effect. Do you agree, though, that refraction is the bending of light, which means that a silhouette can't be refracted because it is the absence of light?
What?
Can a silhouette be refracted?
If you're seeing something, there's light traveling to your eyes. So
Sure, but
there's
the
gonna be
mountains,
refraction there.
the mountain should be below the curve of the earth, right? But we're seeing the silhouette once it gets backlit, which means you need a line of sight to the physical object blocking the light.
I don't know, man.
So we
you're
falsified the
doing.
book.
Oh, I saw a thing. Therefore, everything we know about physics and science in general is wrong. It's just not going to fly.
Dave
sorry.
concedes defeat. You heard it here first.
Okay,
He's conceded the Earth is flat. Everybody knows now. Dave conceded.
It's so easy to go against flat earthers, just dismiss all the uncomfortable evidence and ask about
It's not
things,
uncomfortable evidence. You just make up bullshit.
like just ask about random things that we were taught when we were 5. Like, well, then how does this work? And like, whatever. I mean, if
I
you
ask
think
you
that's
very
how it
simple
works.
things like why does the night sky rotate in opposite directions in opposite hemispheres? You have yet to answer that. You have
Answered
yet
it
to
directly.
Okay, go ahead. Repeat
said
that.
if you
Repeat
look
your
a different
I
way,
did.
it'll rotate a different way. That's just
No,
odd
I
word.
said first of all,
Odd word
you have to verify cardinal direction, which when we go to the south, we actually use immense magnetic declination corrections, which could be skewing where you
I'm
think you're
saying
viewing.
looking
That's
at
just
the
a
celestial pole.
just
with your
a
eyeball.
fact.
Looking
Let
at the
him finish.
celestial
Let him
pole with your
finish, Dave.
eyeball.
Let him finish.
that's just a fact.
Yeah, but
And
he's
then
just scalping. It's just word salad. He's just saying words to deflect. from
dude,
the thing
stop
that
using
he's
the
saying.
term word salad. You don't know what
What?
it means.
It means you're just saying words that aren't saying anything, which is what you're doing. That's what it means, and that's what you do. Right?
But you can never give specific examples of when I did it.
Just now, what you just did. I'm asking.
I said
looking at the
that
celestial
magnetic
sphere,
declination
what does that have to
in
do
the
with it?
south. What?
What does it have to do with what I'm asking you?
You have to determine your cardinal direction. And then the second part is
No,
because
you don't.
magnetic declination corrections are immense in the south.
You're confused
That
about
makes
what I'm
it very
asking you.
difficult
This
to
isn't the
verify
southern
cardinal
cross and three
direction.
directions thing. I'm asking about rotating counterclockwise versus clockwise. You have yet to answer that.
He's
And
going
you-
all the
Okay,
way
you need to
back.
determine-
Just so the viewers know, hold on. You guys are both being really great, by the way. Like, you're being very respectful, and I appreciate that. Dave, I believe, is going back to his literal.
The first thing I said.
The very first thing you said. Yeah, the globe.
This is all recorded. I tried to answer it the first time he asked it.
No,
He
well,
interrupted
it's all
7
recorded.
times. I've
You
answered
said
it 3
if
times.
I look in a different direction, it'll magically spin the other way. That's not how things work.
no,
If you
I
put a clock
said
on the ceiling,
specific-
it's going to go clockwise no matter which way you face. Sorry,
I
buddy.
said that we see this does require usually some visualizations to understand it. We see in a little dome. It's called an azimuthal grid. You can go to Stellarium. That's how we map the stars. We have a zenith position, an azimuth position, and we measure elevation angles. When you do that 360, it gives you a dome. That's how we view the sky. NASA themselves have articles talking about how we see the sky to be a dome. We have an equidistant limit of vision. It's like a little dome. If you were to replicate that with a bunch of spinning stars and you looked out towards the edge of this dome, it's going to make them look like they're converging and spinning around the central point, even though they're literally not doing that. We have replicated
How does
it.
it spin the
Therefore,
other way
we
in the
would
other
expect to see it just like crepuscular and anti-crepuscular rays. When the sun's setting in the west, it'll look like it's in the east at the same time, and the rays will converge to a point, even though it's just based on perspective.
Okay.
That isn't objectively a viable answer for the star
It
trials.
is not a viable answer. You're just saying words like crepuscular and perspective to appease flat earthers who have no idea what you're talking about, because you cannot answer how things rotate counterclockwise in one hemisphere and clockwise in the other.
You know what
which,
anti-crepuscular
again,
rays
is
are?
explained perfectly by this model. It turns.
Do you know what
this way,
anti-crepuscular rays
and
are?
that's- Well, what? Tell me what they are. Go ahead.
So you called it word salad, but it's just that you don't understand the terms.
It doesn't
Okay,
matter,
so-
but you're just taking it's a jumble of words. It's not that each word doesn't mean something. It's not just literal gibberish and syllables. You're taking words that are words and putting them together to make a salad, like your lettuce and your croutons and your things like that. That's why I tell you of yum yum word salad. You cannot explain what is can you concede that this makes perfect sense visually, intuitively, just spatially? Can you at least concede that this makes
already
more
did.
sense than what you're saying?
No. I mean, I would say that if it is exactly south, yeah, of course, that's what the globe predicts. But we
So you're
made the
admitting,
globe
so you're
model.
admitting that the globe Earth explanation for the way we see stars moving in the sky makes more sense than
No,
everything you just said using random buzzwords that you.
no, I didn't say that. But this
Well,
is the point I
everyone
want to
watching,
make
I
here
think, can
too.
tell.
Look, Dave had to deny that the default position is that the Earth's a stationary plane.
It's not the default.
That is a
position.
fact.
No,
That is
it's
literally
not
a fact. So
That's just a thing you say.
wait. Whenever we fly a plane, do we treat the Earth like it's flat?
It doesn't matter. We're just flying.
Oh.
We're not talking about the shape
Well,
of the
okay,
Earth.
hold on,
We're just
hold on.
traveling.
If
it's a default
if that's
position.
true, hold on, Austin. If that's true, as the debunkers point out, when you fly on the southern hemisphere, or why do planes take direct routes as opposed to following the flat Earth map? Because it takes the same time to fly from Australia. I think that, what is the example you used, Dave?
Sydney to Santiago,
Sydney
over the
to Santiago.
Pacific Ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do this one because we didn't get to it.
It's always obfuscation away from the point that the
Well, he
actual
asked the
physical
question.
flying of the plane requires a
we're
flat
not getting
stationary.
anywhere. So he asked the question. I'm just going with him.
I just think it's funny. I just think it's funny.
All right.
Okay,
All right,
but
well-
yeah, I know all the debunks. They're not debunks, or I wouldn't be sitting in this chair right now.
They are. You can't explain.
No,
that
okay, I'll
flight.
just
You
go ahead
can't
and explain it. So
Santiago
if you
Sydney.
say you fly from Sydney to Santiago, one direction actually takes significantly longer than the other return flight.
How much?
Then
It
if you
doesn't though. It doesn't.
it
Half
it
an hour.
objectively does.
Have headwinds back way. It's like 30 minutes. That's all.
No, there are flights that are up to 3-hour difference. So okay, that's a
Now when I
fact.
looked it up.
Now, everyone can verify everything I'm saying, and you can go to 24-hour flight radar
That would
and look
even
at the
matter.
data.
It's
You can go to
impossible.
24-hour flight radar, look at the data. What you'll see is it says the plane's going, say, 550 miles per hour, right? On the globe, obviously, you just have a similar distance both ways. But if the time is different, they're obviously not going the same speed. So what that proves, right, because speed equals distance over time. So what that proves is that the data we're being given about how fast that plane goes is wrong. You can Google plane goes 800 miles per hour, and there will be articles talking about planes catching
800
jet
ain't gonna
streams.
cut it. You're going to need
wait,
2,000 miles an hour.
Okay, but planes can't. No, you don't.
Sure
It's
you do.
ridiculous. You guys.
That
see,
distance is like triple or quadruple the distance that makes sense for the amount of time it takes. So are you
No.
going to pretend that there's some that crazy wind or personal tornado that makes it fly quadruple the speed to get it over
the
there?
hurricane.
And also, why doesn't it go the route that makes sense on the flat Earth? Why doesn't
Well,
it go
let
that
me-
way?
Okay, first, if you assume the Earth's a globe with a projection, that doesn't prove the Earth's a globe, and it doesn't. So you're asking me, are
How's
the
the flight
pilots
work?
in on it? No, the pilots aren't in on it. I know tons of flat Earth pilots. They weren't. They thought the
There
Earth was a
are
globe.
no
Most of their
flat
career.
Earth pilots. That's a lie.
Well,
See, this
okay,
is what I'm
hold on,
saying.
let
You
me-
have to lie about stuff like that,
You're
dude.
the one
It's so
lying.
weird.
There's no flat Earth pilots. Ask any pilot if the Earth is
My-
flat. They'll laugh in your face.
I
wife-
know
They all take great
multiple.
circle routes. They take great circle routes
My-
that are.
Can a
based
circle
on
exist on a flat Earth?
My wife is a pilot.
No, a great
My wife-
circle.
Does anybody want to talk to me? My wife's a pilot.
Yeah.
What does she think? Bring her in.
She does.
Dude, I have an Air Force pilot that reached out to me
I
of
saw-
30
I saw,
years.
yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
flat.
Cool. I
the-
bet that's true. Totally.
I don't want to.
See, I was saying you have to deny basic reality.
Why? Why is it so crazy to think that you could be making that up on the spot? Why
what's
is
what I'm
it-
saying? How-
Hold on a second. Either I let these guys go at it for 10 more minutes, or we answer viewer questions.
I feel like we've gone good time.
I feel like
Let's
we're
do-
there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're there.
I
So
got
I
stuff
want
to
to pick
do.
a few of these. I'll stick around live for a few minutes after I let these guys go. I want to just like give a digital. I mean, I don't care what side you're on. Thank you both for being here and for being so passionate and being so engaged, and being just great. Obviously people are going to think whatever they want to think, but I hope people are entertained. There are many not many tens of thousands, but there's over 15,000 people watching. So a lot of people are entertained on a Saturday night, and they could have been watching some garbage. So this is obviously much better. I will read them all after I let these gentlemen get on with their Saturday nights, but I wanted to pick some that I thought.
Can we do like a 6-second closing or something at some point?
Absolutely. I'll do a 2-minute, and then because you guys should we coin flip for who goes last? It's like a criminal trial, right? So generally the prosecution goes last. But I'll just say
I'm indifferent.
Okay. Well, then we'll let Dave go first. Someone says, make Dave define one thing in detail that Austin has said is word salad. Well, he did that. I think he did do that.
No, we didn't.
It's not that he's using words that aren't real. It's that he's stringing together words in a way that isn't saying anything. It's just
Give an
using
example.
Scientific terminology. I can't
Give an
remember
example.
because he didn't say anything, so it doesn't really stick.
Yeah.
Right?
The
When I'm
definition of
trying-
word salad is incoherent rambling,
Yeah.
typically associated with schizophrenia. So if I was saying,
You don't have
yo,
to be
chicken,
schizophrenic
yesterday,
to do it.
sunset, Okay, whatever, dude. The fact you didn't understand the terms like anti-corpuscular rays and anisotropic and magnetic declination doesn't make it word salad. It means you need to go inform yourself what the words mean.
I'm saying that those words don't pertain to any kind of explanation for what I was talking about. Magnetic declination isn't going to explain away looking at an object in the sky, seeing that it rotates a particular direction, going to the other hemisphere and seeing that it rotates in the other direction.
Now you're trying to rebut my argument. You're trying to rebut my argument, but that doesn't don't just dismiss the argument as word salad. It's basically vocalizing inept vocabulary skills and bragging about it. It's super weird.
It's pointing out that you use a bunch of terminology rapid fire to make it sound like you know what you're talking about, to trick people into thinking that you know what you're talking about.
Somebody said this. I have a challenge for both Dave and Austin. Using your preferred method, model the Earth universe derived to the 9.8 meters per second. It's indisputable that falling objects accelerate towards the ground at that acceleration. Gravity is true. I'm a physics guy. So I think I don't want to like every question somebody asks, I don't want to like devolve into like a 20-minute, but I think Dave would say gravity and Witsit would say density, right? Like
yeah,
but the 9.8 meters per second is consistent. It doesn't matter if it's a bowling ball.
It's derived from Newton's law of universal gravitation, and you need the mass of the Earth in there. If gravity was electromagnetism, the mass of the Earth wouldn't be a factor. And
okay, well, you can get it from electrostatics. If you look at Gauss's law, it's a very similar relationship. But what's funny is it actually doesn't always fall at 9.8 meters per second squared. That is an agreed upon average. It's close to that. It's close to that. No, in a vacuum it changes. There's something called gravimeter measurements, which is a vacuum sealed chamber with interferometry measuring a BB fall, and it'll fluctuate above 9.81. Right now it's decimal points, but the point is that it fluctuates at specific times when the electric field changes, even inside of a vacuum sealed chamber. So yeah, to claim it doesn't have anything to do with electric field is insane. Prove that it's space-time bending and warping, or we're winning because we can physically prove it's electric. So until you can prove another claim, you don't have the upper edge at all. It's actually the other way around.
Let Dave reply.
You cannot do anything with electromagnetism to demonstrate this. You cannot take objects of differing properties, paramagnetic, diamagnetic, ferromagnetic. Why does it not matter at all what the composition of an object is? It all falls 9.81 meters per second squared, not as the average, right? I know it varies depending on altitude and radius of the Earth where you are locally, but you cannot demonstrate any discrepancy. Take any object, a bar magnet, a iron, ferromagnetic iron, anything. Show me that it does anything different than what anything else does that's neutral. Wouldn't it interact with the field in a different way?
Actually, it's a drop tower test that was done in Europe at, I believe, a university, and they show different elements falling at different rates. And so this is the truth, though, that the electric field that creates a downward electric current of 10 microamps per meter. So it's very small and it's very nearly constant. So we don't expect the downward pressure to change much. That's a real verifiable part of physics. I can go out and measure it and manipulate it and make things float. Can you prove that space-time is bending and warping?
No,
of course not.
To what you
can just assume.
No, you absolutely can. Relativity is very well corroborated, but you have absolutely zero ability, right? Opposite charges accelerate in opposite directions in an electric field, right? So why, again, does nothing fall up?
Okay, because when the object is more dense, density is the compactness of matter. So what holds the matter together? It's electrostatic charges that gives it a compactness. Literally, all molecular and intermolecular attractive forces are electrostatic in nature. And if you call that word salad, that's insane because that's just a direct quote.
No, it is word salad because you're not answering the question. You're
it's a direct quote from Purdue University, dude.
Purdue? What?
I just quoted Purdue verbatim. So this is the problem with listening to people like this guy. They're just going to dismiss it as word salad. You can't have an intellectually honest conversation.
You're just it's just random. It's just random words. You just said density. I'm asking you why nothing falls up, and you answered density. Air is less dense here. Air is less dense here. In fact, this air is less dense than this air because it becomes less dense with elevation. Why does it fall down? Why does
it's still less dense than the object in all scenarios, Dave? Do you not know that even in a vacuum, it's still more dense than the environment or the medium, right? It doesn't matter if it's a little bit less dense, the object's still more dense.
Down because the mass of the Earth is below it. So why doesn't anything accelerate upwards? Why doesn't anything fly to the other Gaussian surface? Why isn't anything repelled by the Earth?
Because there's a downward electric current.
Electromagnetism.
There's a
Why
downward
can't you
electric.
flip the current? What about a lightning strike?
Because you can't manipulate the entire Earth.
When the
bro.
lightning strikes, does something there suddenly fly up to the cloud? There's a reversal of polarity there. Why is it that you can't get anything to fall up?
Okay, you cannot flip the entire electric field of the Earth. Now,
Not
for it to be analogous to
right there, right under the lightning bolt, something can fly up. No?
All right, here's what I'm going to do. I know that it's late. I'm going to give you both, first of all, a huge round of applause. Please, everyone in chat who's currently, the chat is just as hinged as I thought it would be.
Wait, hinged or unhinged?
I mean, I unhinged. Yeah.
Unhinged, yeah, I would have said.
But I really, really appreciate both of you being on. This is incredible, super entertaining. Everyone in chat, I don't care who you agree with or disagree with. Please check out these individuals' particular YouTube channels. I assume both of them will use this footage and make more content. Watch that. I want to give you guys both, what do you think? 3 minutes to go out on?
I mean, I need like 30 seconds. I don't need it.
Okay, all right. 2 minutes to go out on. And since I think Dave, you went first, leading in, we'll let Austin go first, leading out. But I want you both guys to know I'll have you back on any time you want. This was a blast for me. Like I know that chat, I know they enjoyed it. Obviously, both of you hope to educate people, but for me, I'm a loser entertainer, and I know everyone was entertained. So if everyone had a good time, please support whoever side you want. And I will read everybody's chats after I let these guys off the hook because they've got more important shit to do. So Austin, I will give you the floor. I will shut off my camera and give you 2 uninterrupted minutes. Plug whatever you want. Let people know where to find you. Watch your content, and then we'll go to Dave, and then I will stay on and respond to all the other stuff. If that's okay with you guys. Does that sound okay?
Yep.
Sure.
Okay. Go ahead.
Actually time it. So, the default position is that the Earth's a stationary plane. It's what we all experience. Could, in theory, the Earth be a spinning globe? Sure. Whenever you point at the sky and say, look, it matches the globe, it's very ignorant because we made the globe model from the sky. We took observations and reverse engineered the way that we see the sky and assumed the Earth's a sphere. Of course it matches. That's how we made it. And it didn't match for hundreds of years. It had to constantly be updated, still being updated. Relativity is the most verified theory ever. Isn't true at all. 1933, Fritz Zwicky saw the galaxy cluster only had 1% of the mass it needed to actually keep the galaxies from escaping. That means it was missing 99% mass. That's called dark matter. It was originally called missing mass. It's still a major problem. Relativity can't even predict things on the quantum, local, or cosmological scale. It's been falsified with things such as anisotropic light propagation, meaning light's actually a variant, it changes, etc. So a lot of these things are a bit more complex. I encourage people to go actually look at my channel or Ether Cosmology and listen to us break down Einstein's papers, and you can hear him say it. Look at the tests that falsify this stuff. But this is the part that's very important. Falsifications independent of replacement. We were all told that the Earth's a spinning globe. It's very easy to mock and ridicule people that are much more informed to diligently research and actually go out and do tests in real life than actually look into it for yourself. I get it. But just calling them names, appealing to consensus or whatever doesn't matter. This is a crazy conversation. And actually what we have proven for step one is that the Earth is stationary, and that's been done with interferometry. And so even Einstein admitted that if the interferometry measurements were correct, that his entire theory is wrong and the Earth is stationary, effectively being the implication. We have verified that the interferometry changes with altitude, periodicity, etc. Long story short, it has been proven that the Earth is stationary. It is therefore in the center of the universe. All observations ever showed that. The globe claims everything is actually an illusion. It just looks like the Earth's in the center. It looks like the Earth is flat, but it's really not. Everything is just an illusion. So I encourage you to inform yourself about it because, you can't really be confident in your position until you actually know what your position is. And the vast majority of people don't even understand the globe model. So they actually don't know what they believe in. So that's really the only reason I do this is to encourage people to at least inform themselves about what they believe before they're so confident in it.
Thanks, Austin. Thanks so much, dude. Dave, lead us out. I'll stay on live after Dave's final here, but yeah, thank you both for coming on.
Cool. No, he's absolutely wrong. The default position is that the Earth is a sphere, and as predicted, he chose to obfuscate by going to relativity and Einstein and all these things. which are not helpful. Since antiquity, we've known that the Earth is a sphere. All observations demand that the Earth is a sphere. He was absolutely incapable of answering this. He just did a thing about, oh, if you look in a different direction, it's going to spin the other way. Doesn't make any sense. Was totally unable to explain this. Utilize magnetic declination. Again, these positions are nowhere near the magnetic pole, and so the idea that they could just suddenly all be looking in the same direction because magnetic declination. I'm sorry, David Weiss. I'm sorry, Austin. This is not sufficient explanation. Day and night regions of illumination. All we got was a little toddler, shine a light on a thing where there's supposed to be a dome, even though there's not actually any dome, and the sun's going to be outside, or is it going to be inside? Doesn't make any sense either. South Pole, come back to that again, day and night. Southern Hemisphere, we did not get to any adequate explanation of how this route is possible. He just said, oh, they go really fast. I don't remember what he said, some wind or something. And we definitely have absolutely no explanation for this Antarctica Cup ocean race. These boats are not going all the way the entire world, turning the opposite direction of where they are actually turning. So I think that was pretty fun. I think we managed to stay away, for the most part, from the esoteric aspects of modern physics that Austin likes to spew his word salads about, and we stuck, for the most part, to things like gravity and things falling. So it was somewhat productive, but I do look forward to Austin going to the South Pole.
Hell yeah. I'll go with you, bud.
Seeing
I'm
the
built for it.
24-hour sun, and then I can't wait to see his video saying, I now believe it's a sphere, and then we can be rid of this idiotic flat earth disease forever, hopefully. Maybe in 1,000 years it'll come back somehow. I don't know.
Gentlemen, you both killed it. You're both incredibly entertaining and very respectful and well prepared, and I want to thank you for coming on, and I want to remind everyone in chat, please do, I don't care whose quote-unquote side you picked. Check out both of their channels. Both are linked in the description. I think it's good to take in both sides of whatever conversation is going on. Fellas, thank you so much for coming on. I will wrap it up with chat here too, and follow and let them know what's going on. You obviously can reach out to me anytime. Use this content how you see fit, and have an incredible weekend, both of you, please.
Thank you. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, thanks for hosting it, man. Much love.
Oh yeah, it was a blast. Thank you.